Good morning, I'm Lynn, and welcome to Ewetopia Farms. Today we're going to talk about behavioral psychology, feeding lambs, sheep condition, escapee lamb, feeding sheep of course, breeding sheep, scurs on rams, and it looks like we have a cougar in the barn. So let's get started. Now we're in Handsome's breeding group, which is actually Quincy and Hilton's breeding group. Handsome's just the cleanup. And we do have, Handsome's on this side today. Remember I said always look where your ram is? Well, he's right at the gate here. So almost ran right into him because he's not normally here. But we always look for the ram first when we come in the barn, because Handsome in general, when he sees me, he'll come over and see me closer, and that's okay as long as he's not fighting. And here's Gladiator, and I think his limp is gone now, eh?
Yeah, but now it's getting wet a little bit.
Hi Glad, you feeling better now? That's a good boy. And this crew are just coming in from the field. We're out early today.
Right together.
So this is Handsome. Right now he's getting pet and he's really friendly. So what we're teaching Handsome is that when he runs at us to get pet, we don't pet him. And when he stands here really nicely like this, he will get pet. That way he learns that good behavior is rewarded and bad behavior is ignored. That's behavioral psychology 101. Right, Handsome? Yeah, I think so. That's good psychology. And because all the other rams out there saw that he was getting pet, they've all come to the door. Hi, Glad. Hi. How you feeling? Much better now, eh? What did you do to your foot? And you see what this ram did? He just walked right in between me and Glad because he wanted to stop me petting them and wanted to have all the pets for himself. He's a very smart ram. And you can see right now he's in a breeding group. He's not doing a lot of breeding because I'm pretty sure everyone in here is bred. But you can see how you can't peel it back to see it, but you can see that there's a little point there. I can feel his spine and it's sticking up a bit. Not a little bit at the back and more so at the shoulders. But he's getting in poor condition being in the breeding group. It's not because he's not being fed well, but it's because when a ram goes in a breeding group, what they tend to do is, you've seen it, they'll let the ewes eat first so that they can go down the line and check to see if anyone's in heat or cycling. And as a result, the ewes will eat all his grain and he will lose weight. He of course always has hay, but that grain really does keep the condition on them. So this breeding group with Handsome has been fed their hay this morning as well. Arnie already did that. And I just go through, make sure they have salt and mineral, tap it down. All these feeders do have mineral today. So this barn, at this time of year, it's really quiet for us. It's just making sure everything is just running smoothly. There's nothing out of the ordinary usually happening. It's just a matter of feeding and checking that everybody's eating and stuff. Busy times always occur around lambing season. After the main barn's done, we head over to the coveralls, and because we have bottle lambs right now, they get fed first by me. And in the meantime, Arnie's feeding the lambs their creep feed. As you can see, he's already poured it out. With the creep feed and the lambs, we give that to them twice a day. And that's how we can gauge how much they're eating. So we'll put a little bit out. They're on both sides now eating. And what we want to see is that they clean all that up by their nighttime feeding. If there's any left over, we would decrease the amount of creep feed we're giving, and if it's all gone, we would gradually increase it. The goal is to keep the feed fresh. So like we've mentioned many times before, you don't want it sitting in the trough and getting mice and pigeons and stuff running through it, and just the dust in the air and them standing in it. So the goal is for them to eat it up between each feeding. They've finished their bottles now. You can see how quickly they do that. And we were talking about condition on the ram, how rams in breeding groups tend to lose condition, and it's actually one of the few times we like to see that our sheep are losing a bit of condition. Normally we like our sheep in really good condition, as I think you've all realized. But during breeding season, that kind of lets us know that the ram is working well. Chances are a ram that stays in really good condition during breeding may not be doing his job. And you may have more open sheep in that group, or maybe he's not working at all. It's something worth noting anyway. And the same with ewes. We have the ewes with lambs right now. Generally, we like our ewes to stay year-round in like a condition 3. That's our preference. But during lambing, they're nursing. And ewes that lose their condition during nursing are usually the best ewes, because they're all being fed really well and they're all being fed the same. But occasionally you'll get a few ewes that you'd swear they never had a lamb, because they're still all chubby and stuff. And then you'll look at other ewes and you'll say, oh my God, like she is so skinny. But those skinny ewes are the ones that are milking really hard. They're nursing their lambs really well. Usually, I mean, that's assuming they're not sick or something. We're talking about healthy ewes. So it's a good indicator if the ewes in starting to shed off her pregnancy weight, and you look at her lamb and her lamb is nice and round and healthy, you can probably say she's a good milker and a good ewe. And chances are that fat ewe you find that's at the feeder, if you look at her lamb, chances are 9 times out of 10 she's the one with the little tiny skinny lamb. And she's looking after herself and not the lamb. She's not producing enough milk. She's storing fat deposits and just not milking well. Those will be the sheep that you'll be wanting to cull out. So the lambs have finished their bottles, and they've gone right from the bottle feeder. This is Seymour, and number 2 there, they're right at the feeder there eating the creep feed. Next thing we do in each barn is if they need hay, we'll be feeding hay. This barn always needs hay. They go through a bale a day in here. This is wrapped hay. Looks like we got a nice bale here. This is why I check the drinkers every day. Someone did poop in here last night, so we want to clean that out. You don't want sheep drinking contaminated water. And sometimes they won't even drink it if it's contaminated, and they do require a lot of water for rumination and health. So keeping your drinkers clean, very important. Okay, we got a sheep in the manger, a lamb in the manger. Not sure who this one is, but we'll have to check where it belongs and make sure it hops into the right pen. We haven't had one in the manger for quite some time now. Looks like it's got no spot on its shoulder. That means it belongs in the first group. Actually, Actually, it looks like it's 47, and 47 belongs in the second group. Do you have a spot? Oh, he does have a spot. That's 47. Ah, and he got into the right pen. He's the learner. He learned. He's the one we had a chat with the other day for being in the feeder. Drinkers, real easy to clean them out. Just pull the plug. I do have a scrubby, but I did a thorough cleaning of them all yesterday. But we just rinse it out, make sure there's no residue left over. That's all that's required to keep a sheep healthy. Not too much. And while I did that, you saw that took like, 3 seconds to do the drinker, and it took the same amount of time for Arnie to roll that bale down the feeder. I didn't press pause or stop it at all. So that's a quick procedure as well. It's a quick and easy way to feed sheep. Now sometimes the bales bind up and they're a little harder to unroll, but that one unrolled really nicely, which is always a bonus. And we put that dividing wall back in the feeder. That's to prevent when number 47 jumps in the feeder like that, it prevents him from going into any of the back pens. He's limited to his pen or this pen, so he has a 50-50 chance of getting the right pen instead of only a 25% if he could run the whole length of the feeder. This is the Suffolk breeding groups in the next cover all over. Same thing here. These guys don't eat quite a bale a day because there's a little less of them in this barn, but it's the same type of hay they're being fed. We believe that a manger should always stay full of hay. They should be able to eat at any time they want and have fresh hay available. For grain, we've never had grain issues with Suffolks. They seem to tolerate any kind of feed. They're a much bigger sheep, have much bigger lambs, have more lambs than Dorsets. So yes, they eat more, but they produce more as well. So it's all related. You can't have a sheep that's highly productive with fast growth rates and not expect it to eat. It doesn't make them less commercially viable. If anything, we make more money on the Suffolks than we do on Dorsets because they produce their lambs faster and heavier. So they're out of here quicker, so we have less input costs on them. And once a Suffolk gets to its ideal weight, like these guys are all in nice condition, it's really easy to just keep them at that weight to maintain them. But we have a heavy British influence in them, like from our ram Geronimo here, who has a heavy British influence. And the British Suffolks are absolutely way more feed efficient than the taller ones. Hi, Geronimo. Choosing a good ram has a huge influence on your babies. It's still something we battle with on a almost daily basis with customers not seeming to understand how much a good ram can improve your flock and your profitability so quickly. A good ram should get your lambs to market quicker. It should make them more muscular. So you're going to get way more money from these type of sheep. Geronimo's one of our sheep. He's a son from Felon. He was born the same year as Gladiator. That's why he has a G name. And him and Gladiator and General all were show sheep that year. I think Geronimo is a twin and Gladiator's a triplet. But you can see they're pretty heavy rams, but they're pretty easy keepers too. That British influence, they really seem to make the sheep much easier keepers. Once they have their weight, they tend to keep it.
He's doing his job.
Yeah, he's doing his job.
He's on a victim.
And we don't mind when the rams lose weight in breeding groups, like I said, because we know that they are doing their job, and they have the whole rest of the year to make it up. So it's okay. But you see, he just checked that ewe out. He's scenting now to see if she's a prospect. But I'm kind of guessing that these guys are all bred too. Geronimo's in. Half of these ewes were his ewes, but we combined Felon's group into here as well, and we're using Geronimo as a cleanup. But I don't see him breeding anyone either. I have a funny feeling that right now everybody's all bred. Yeah. The last barn we have to do each day is our replacement ewe lambs and our rams that are for sale. I swear this is our best group of ram lambs ever. Usually by this stage we're starting to cull out ones that just didn't grow on well. But boy, you hate to say it, but I can't find a bad one in this group. They are a really, really nice bunch. Extremely happy with them. So probably all of them are gonna make it onto yearlings and be sold on as yearlings. Honey, you're gonna hurt your leg standing up there. It's coming. So again, they got hay in the feeder. It's always there. They get a little bit of grain. Show them how much grain you're giving them. Not too much. It's just a little bit.
Teaser.
Just like a teaser, just to keep their protein up, because they are still growing even though they look quite large. These guys, like I say, have hay available all the time. And they are also, everyone in this barn is also free to go out on pasture as well. To that grain mixture we add 1 scoop of limestone to prevent urinary calculi in the rams. Killer is looking much better and acting much better. He had stones, seems to have passed a stone, but he's still bleeding. So I don't know if he's still passing stones or if it takes a while for that to heal up.
There's one knocked off his spurs.
Yep. See when they're fighting. This guy, occasionally you'll see a little scur on a ram, which is just a little bit of a horn growth, but it never turns into a real horn. They're kind of like loose things, and when they do their playing, actually it's knocked off both of them. So this guy, see that red? And it matches on the other side. He's been battling.
Right there.
There, see both. He's lost both. And so now he has no scurs. They will not regrow. But people often ask about the scurs. There's a guy with scurs right there. His are still on. But usually they'll knock them off. But they'll never grow longer than that anyway. So it's not really an issue. When we first put them out on pasture, a few of them got the scoots. Like Casanova here. I caught him yesterday and trimmed all the dirty tags off his backside, and they were all right dried up. So he's all cured up. Same with this little guy. I trimmed him up too. Nobody in here seems to have diarrhea at all anymore. Now I can tell this ram here, he's got blood on his behind. This is the ram that Killer's very attracted to. He's always humping on him, and that's how I know that Killer's still bleeding. But otherwise, he's acting perfectly. And here's Klondike. He was limping the other day. We couldn't find anything wrong with his foot, and we were afraid since he was such a fighter that maybe he had gotten nerve damage, but I see he's not limping today either, so.
If you look at his front shoulders, the width here, I mean, he's way above average, but his rump, actually, his hip here, his rump, is actually way thicker than his shoulder. And if you grab his, I can't do it with one hand. If you grab his loin right here, he's probably 10 inches across.
And he's thick too, like down, like to grab it, it's a big chunk too. He's got a few scurs.
Well, actually, he broke one off.
Yeah, but they'll knock right off.
This one's gonna come off too.
He's a really good size, really meaty ram. Some people are afraid about those little scurs, but they're not a problem at all. Like I say, they usually knock off, and even if they don't, it doesn't change anything. They don't get caught on things. They don't pass on. They could pass on to a few lambs, but it's not a huge issue, and they'll never be horns. They are not horned. Might protect them a bit in a ram fight, unless he knocks them off.
Yeah, this is a good ram.
I think might be from Hellboy, eh?
But look at that rump on it.
Okay, right now we have our little Shetland is here wagging her tail and flirting with the ram lambs. The Suffolks. She's going to be 17 in probably April. And she's sidling up to the rams, and they're all excited by her. No, you're not breeding the Shetland. It's not going to happen. I would have thought that she was too old to cycle, but obviously that is exactly what she's doing, and she's definitely got a fan base here. Don't even think about it, you boys. So Arnie's just rolling out that bale of hay in here. This barn doesn't eat a whole bale either, so yesterday he would have rolled a full bale up to the end over here, and then the second day he unrolls it back so that they have fresh hay each day. There was a little core left over. It's really nice hay, so he's going to take that core and put it in the Dorset lamb creep feeders so that they have fresh hay and can eat separate from the mums if they want to. We're going to open the gate. We do lock him in at night because we have a lot of predators here and we don't want anything to happen. Hi, Hunchy. Hi. And this is Hunchy. Most people know her because when she was just a little lamb, she got an infection in her tail head from docking, and we actually didn't think she was going to make it. She was skin and bones and wasn't doing too good. But her sister went on to be a show sheep at someone else's flock, and Hunchy managed to stay in our keeper pen. Are you guys all ready now? Time to go outside? Okay, I'm going to open the gate for you. Hi. Hi. Hello. You're all very nice. Yeah, you are. Hi. I'm working at winning over the replacement ewe lambs because a lot of them are not friendly. Hi. You're Cloud. We showed you, didn't we? Yeah. Okay. We just pin these gates open so so they don't knock them closed by mistake. And like I say, they're free to come and go as they please all day long. Hey? And as soon as it gets dark, then we lock them in. So that little core of hay that was left in the replacement lamb barn has come over here, and it's being put into the creep area for the lambs. All the moms really want it, but they have their own. And it encourages the lambs to eat in this area, which is preferable to them eating at the feeder with their moms. Because when they're eating at the feeder with their moms, they can actually get stepped on or choked by the mothers at the feeder. They don't know any better, and that's what happens. You can see all the moms understand. They remember their childhoods, and that this is the premium hay back here for the lambs. And now he's putting some in this pen. See, this pen is older, so all the lambs know. So they're all coming over. Last but not least, we let the ram lambs out. I just thought I'd sit here and watch them come out, and they've all come over to me. There they go. Hi, buddies. Hi. Hi. You guys are all so friendly. Hi, buddies. Hi. Hi, you're really nice. This guy's one of our Dorset crosses. I honestly think he's the nicest Dorset in here. You are a beautiful boy. And who are you, honey? Yeah, you wagging your tail? Hey? There they go. Okay, so we're going to call that a day. And if you look behind me, that's the fog coming in. You can't see that's our bush back there. You can't see it at all. So really, really foggy. Hopefully all the sheep know to come in right now, because that's the type of weather coyotes like. You can see the rams are all there at the barn, and I would assume that the ewes are coming in too. But anyway, thanks for joining us, and I hope you'll join us again tomorrow for the next episode at Ewetopia Farms. Bye for now.